Bonjour. Oh, yes, the audio works. Fine. So I'll be covering all the French topics after minor 1. So I'll just go through all the French folders now. Let's see what's there in each one of them. I think it starts from class 10 because class 9 says it's minor. So everything after class 9 is the new thing. So class 10. Now this is a scenario of some sorts. Proposer une sortie. You're proposing an outing. So you want to go out or whatever. So these worksheets, their physical copies have been given. So I solved those worksheets. So after the meeting is done, I'll upload all these French worksheets. So all the vocabulary you require will be there in the worksheets. So go through the worksheets once I upload them. So since I'll be uploading the answers, there's nothing for me to explain. So I will go to the topic in this place. So formule pour proposer une invitation. So some guidelines as to how to propose an invitation. There are 4 things. Proposer une sortie is to propose an outing, and accepter is how do you accept it. Refuser is how do you refuse it, and fixer un rendezvous is fixing a meeting. How do you fix a meeting? In the worksheet, I've solved this. I've sorted. So c'est impossible pour moi. It means it's impossible for me. So what is it? It is a way of refusing it. So that's there. So if you go through the examples, you will understand which sentence is which one. So this is one kind of a question. Fine, you just look at the examples. Now the concept is here. So proposer une sortie. How do you propose an outing? So you simply have to ask, do you want to go out? Tu veux sortir? Sortir is to go out. Aller is to go. Do you want to go to the cinema, to the theater? All these things are in the worksheet. I will provide the solutions as well. So one way is, do you want to go out? Tu veux sortir. The second one is, tu veux aller to some place. Then you have something called ça te dit. Ça te dit, does it work for you? So le karaoke, ça te dit. Does karaoke work for you? Ça te dit d'aller. Oh wait, let me write it somewhere. Some new words, I'll write it here. Okay, let me write. So you could ask, do you want to go out? So it depends on the context. If you look at the question, you will know what you're supposed to do. But this is just a concept, so I have no questions with me. Maybe if we look at the Endsem worksheet, we will understand. Okay, I was writing the new word, no? Satadi. Sa te di. It means, does it work for you or is it fine? Now again, it depends on the formality as well. It could be savudi, or I don't think this is savudi. Satidi. Let's say you want to ask something like, I don't remember the spelling. I think that's the spelling. I don't remember. Oh, it is the right. Don't know. So you can simply be like le karaoke. Satyati. There's one more thing. If you want to say something like so you can be like sa the di, and then you have to add a de, but going to cinema is aller au cinéma. Since aller begins with a vowel, de becomes the apostrophe. So satyati d'aller au cinema. Does going to cinema work for you, or is it fine for you? Or you get the point, right? So satyati is a new form of, it's a new expression. We didn't use it before. We are using it for the first time. Tu es libre mardi? Are you free on Tuesday? Qu'est-ce que tu fais ce soir? What are you doing this evening? On va au cinéma? Shall we go to cinema? So these are different ways of inviting, inviter. So this is proposer une sortie. You're proposing an outing. You're inviting someone to do something. Vous acceptez? So you have some very general responses. So okay pour mardi. So okay, so we'll meet you on Tuesday or whatever. Oui, ça me va. So ça me va is another new expression. It means it works for me. So if someone asks Satyadi, you could say ça me va. D'accord is okay. Oui, je suis libre. Yes, I'm free. Génial is great. Super, cool. Oui, je veux bien. I want it well or whatever. Like I want it so much. So this is one way of accepting. Avec plaisir, with pleasure. Volontiers. What was volontiers again? Volontiers. Willingly, okay. Willingly. Gladly. C'est d'accord, it's okay. So these are different ways of accepting. How about refusing? So if someone proposes this one, if someone tries to invite you, how can you refuse it? There are again very standard phrases. Je ne peux pas, I cannot. Jeudi, c'est impossible pour moi. So jeudi, c'est impossible. Jeudi, Wednesday, it's impossible for me. Je ne suis pas libre, I am not free. Je suis occupé, I am busy. So these are different ways of refusing invitations. Désolé, je ne peux pas. Sorry, I cannot. Merci, mais ça ne me dit rien. So thank you, but it doesn't work for me. Nothing works for me, I guess. So negative, there's a negative form also. So these are like fixed expressions. If you look at the literal translation, it literally says, oh, fine, we'll not look at literal translations. It doesn't work for me. So you have positive, you have negative. Fine. These are some new ways of speaking. I have some new ways over here. And if you remember, I think we did this in the previous semester as well. I'm not sure. Sortir, partir, dormir. So sortir is to go out, partir is to leave, dormir is to sleep. Their conjugations I think I've covered in the previous video as well, minor video, so you could go through that. Okay, this is one more way of inviting. Je t'invite or je vous invite. Je t'invite, je vous invite à mon anniversaire, to my birthday, à mon mariage, to my marriage, chez moi, to my place. So this is one more way of inviting. So along with these invitations, this is one more way of inviting. So you can look at these examples also. After you classify each of these sentences, you can see. I'll upload the solutions. So that was class 10. You have some more exercises. I will solve the Endsem worksheet. All the other worksheets I will upload their solutions. As I'm assuming all these worksheets have been given as physical copies, so I'll upload those solutions. Oh, this is comprehension. Oh, this is again that one. This is the speaking test one. Okay, you have some things about food. So some vocabulary of some sorts will come here. Le plaisir du marché. So the pleasure of marché is a supermarket or whatever. A market. So the pleasure of market probably. So traiteur is someone who organizes your reception. So basically caterers. So traiteur is a caterer. So you have buffet, cocktail, dîner, mariage. So traiteur is your caterer. So you have some food items here. Les entrées. So starters in French. In English, entrée means main course, but in French they are starters. So do not confuse the English meaning with this one. So what do you have for starters? You have l'assiette means plate. So l'assiette des 4 saisons means plate of 4 seasons or dish of 4 seasons or whatever. So you have ingredients in them avec des tomates, des olives, de la salade verte, des carottes, so you have tomatoes, olives, you have green salad, you have carrots, and you have some eggs. Des l'assiette d'Auvergne. I think Auvergne is some place. Auvergne is some place probably. You have to see where Auvergne is. Where is Auvergne? Auvergne. It's in France. It's in central France. So it's a dish from there. You have saucisson. You have jambon. Okay. I think we'll have to write down the meanings. I think in one of the worksheets I've written some meanings, so I'll upload the worksheet there as well. So you'll know what each one of these mean. So saucisson is some form of a sausage. But there's one more thing. Saucisson. Saucisse. So saucisson is a dry cured sausage. And saucisse is a generic sausage. Interesting. Jambon is ham. Jambon is ham. Yes, jambon is ham. So jambon de pays. So country ham. Du pâté de campagne. So pâté, again, there's something called pâte and there's something called pâté. Now it's all a matter of vocabulary. Pate. Pate is paste, okay. So something like a meat spread of some sorts. L'assiette espagnole, so you have a Spanish plate, you have some serrano ham, you have melon, and you have chorizo or something. What is chorizo? Pork. Okay, this is pork. L'assiette grecque, Greek plate. Avec you have tomatoes. Oh my god, my goodness. You have tomatoes. You have feta. What is feta? It's some cheese, some form of Greek cheese. The champignon. I think champignon is mushrooms. Champignon. So they're mushrooms. You have olives. You have cucumbers in yogurt. So concombre au yaourt. You have l'assiette nordique avec du saumon. Saumon is salmon. Saumon de Norvège et des poissons is fish de la mer Baltique. So you have fish from the Baltic Sea. So some dish names. Spécialité parfum du monde. Parfum is perfumes. So perfumes of the world. Or more like smells of the world. You have le couscous géant. Couscous géant is giant. So let's see what is couscous géant. Some dish in Africa probably. Seems like it. And then la paella valenciana. It doesn't look French. Spanish. Okay, it's some Spanish cuisine. And then you have something Indian, le curry de Madras. But the last time I read about it, it's something. I think the Britishers must have done something. Dish was invented in Anglo-India. Unknown in Indian cuisine, okay? I mean, whatever. So you have some dishes here. You have more dishes. Les plats. So plat means dish. Poulet rôti de Bresse. So don't think roti as roti, Indian roti. Here, roti in French with the cap over there. It means it is roasted. So usually something related to meat, roasted meat. So poulet is chicken. So roasted chicken from a region called Bresse. So Bresse is a region in France. Rôti de bœuf du Charolais. So you have again roast of beef. Is buff beef or buffalo? So beef. So buff is beef. So roasted beef from some region called Charolais. And then you have saucisse. See, saucisson is different. Saucisse is different. Saucisson is here in l'assiette d'Auvergne. The first one is saucisson. And saucisse is different. So you have saucisse from Toulouse. Saucisson, I think, is the dry one, and saucisse is, I'm not sure. I think I've written it in the worksheet. Once I upload the solutions, maybe you could look through the meanings. Côtelette is like chops. So agneau is lamb. So côtelette d'agneau is lamb chops de Provence, from Provence region. So you have some dish from Provence. And you have poisson à la bordelaise. So poisson is fish. Some special kind of fish probably. What is bordelaise? Okay, it's some kind of a French sauce that comes from Bordeaux. So fish in that sauce, bordelaise sauce, is poisson à la bordelaise. So you have some nice dish names. Like if they ask you to write examples, I think then you'll have to give some examples. Like give some examples of uh, parfum du monde probably, or some les entrées. Give two examples of les entrées. So le plateau de fromage is cheese. Fromage is cheese. Plateau is like a platter, so you have a platter of cheese. So no dessert. You have some examples of desserts. Salade de fruits des Antilles. So you have a fruit salad from a place called Antilles. You have tarte campagnard. Now they're all names. I think I don't have to spend time here. Maybe you could Google them. I've been Googling these names to make sense of each one of them. Like how do they look like and what is it? And boisson is drinks. You have mineral water, eau minérale. You have wine from a certain place. Vin des Pays de Loire. So Pays de Loire is probably some place. Rouge is red, rosé is pink, blanc is white. So you have these three kinds of wines. You have the usual beer, so bière. You have coffee or tea, café ou thé. And they have their prices. Our prices, prices per person, drinks included. I think. Boisson comprise. So drinks included, yes. So per person, drinks included. So you have two things: formule, buffet, formule, repas, buffet des 5 entrées. So you have a buffet with 5 starters, a cheese thing, something with cheese, and then you have a dessert. And repas is meal, plat is dish, assiette is plate, repas is meal. You have one starter, a hot dish. Show is hot, so plat chaud. Fromage is cheese. So it is fine. You have this vocabulary here. Here, so you have more vocabulary here. La viande. La viande means meat. And then within meat you have poulet. Poulet is chicken. Le bœuf is beef. L'agneau is lamb. Le porc is pork. Jambon is ham. Des saucisses grillées is grilled sausages. Un rôti de bœuf is like roasted beef probably. Une côtelette d'agneau is lamb chops. Les poissons is fish. So le saumon is salmon. Le thon, okay, what is le thon? Le thon is tuna, okay, so le thon is tuna. Manger de la viande. Okay, le thon, manger de la viande. Le thon, is that an entire name? Manger de la viande. Okay, I think manger de la viande is just an expression. So eating meat, eating fish, du poisson. We'll look at why is this de la du coming. That's a topic on its own. And être végétarien is being vegetarian. Okay, interesting. Some expression. So with meat or fish. So some more items that you could have with meat or fish probably. So les pommes de terre, they are apples. Pomme is apples, pomme de terre is potatoes. Frites en purée. So frites is fried. So you could have fried potatoes. En purée. Purée is some form of puree. Some. How do I describe it? So some paste kind of a thing, some creamy thing. You know, a puree, right? Le riz is rice. Haricot vert is, I think, green beans probably. Let me verify. Green beans, yes. So Haricot vert is green beans. You have carrots, you have tomatoes, you have cucumber, you have green salad, olives, and mushrooms. Le lait is milk, fromage is cheese, yaourt is yogurt, les œufs is eggs, an œuf is an egg. Les pâtes, okay, now here pâte is there. Pâté is different, pâte is here. So pâte means again. I think if you did not note down the meanings, you don't have to worry because I noted all the meanings in the worksheet. I think path is some form of pastry, probably. I'm not sure, but once I upload the worksheet, I think it should be clear. But pate is a meat spread, so that is related to meat and everything. Pate. Les fruits, okay, you have some fruits. Une pomme is an apple. Une banana. Une fraise is a strawberry. Un melon is a melon. Une orange is orange. Les pâtisseries are desserts. So you have un gâteau, a cake. Une tarte, it's a tart. And then you have une glace, which is ice cream. You have drinks, les boissons. Water is l'eau. If you want mineral water, l'eau minérale. You have beer, la bière, le vin. So you have three kinds of wines: red, white, and pink. So le vin rouge, le vin blanc, le vin rosé. You have juice, so le jus. It could be orange juice, so it could be le jus d'orange. You have le café, which is coffee. You have le thé, which is thé. You have some verbs associated with this. So for eating, you have manger. For drinking, you have boire. So boire de l'eau, un café. I do not know if you have the verb conjugation for boire. So I will give you verb conjugation for boire here. Boire means to drink. So you have je bois, tu bois, il, elle, on boit. You have nous buvons, vous vous buvez, and then you have il, elle, bu, I guess, or boivent, I guess. Let me check if this is correct. I've written this from memory. Yes, so this is correct. So this is the conjugation. So if you want to say I drink tea, so no, we'll come to that. We have to cover one topic before you use these conjugations. So in that topic, we'll cover why is this DE coming in between boire and l'eau. We will see. 14, 15. So we looked at some vocabulary which I think is better understood if you go through the worksheets. I will give the solutions here as well, assuming there is a physical copy of this. So you have some examples: lemon, orange, banana, pear. Okay, you have some expressions. So avoir faim is to be hungry. We know how to conjugate avoir, right? So if you say it literally means to have hunger, but if you translate it, it means to be hungry. So I can say j'ai faim, it means I'm hungry. The other thing is avoir soif, it means to be thirsty. So let's say tu as soif, it means you are thirsty within the context of eating and drinking. So être végétarien, it means to be vegetarian. And I think végétalien is to be vegan. Avoir une faim de loup. Okay, I wonder what that is. A hunger of what? Avoir une faim de loup. Avoir un très gros appétit. So, okay, you have a very large appetite. Okay, it's to be very hungry. To be very hungry. Avoir une faim de loup. Like really, really hungry. Manger pour 4. Manger pour 4. Manger pour... Okay, so eating for 4, it means you're eating 4 people's worth of food. So basically eating a lot. C'est cher means it's expensive. Le serveur sert les plats. So you have servir. Is servir given? Okay, it's given. So you have new forms. You have new verbs. So boire is to drink. I've given the conjugation. Servir is to serve, and prendre is to take. Okay. You just have new verbs here. No new topics, just new verbs. Most of the topics are already covered in minor 1. Now the new grammar topic is article partitif, which will begin now. So this is the new topic. The new topic is les articles partitifs. So if you remember I think I have to let's talk about les articles. You have definite articles, you have indefinite articles, which we've learned previously. The new thing is partitif. I'm making a table of some sorts. And then you have masculine, feminine, and plural. So definite articles, all of you know it is, and these are singular. So you have LE, or if it begins with a vowel, it is L apostrophe. Feminine is LA, but if it begins with a vowel, it's L apostrophe. Plural, it is LES. Those are definite articles. Indefini, we have UN, UNE, and DES. So if you want an example, definite articles is like the in English, and indefini is like an apple, a boy, those kind of things. And partitive does not explicitly, it does not exist in English, but you have some form of it, so you could think of it like some. When you're translating from French to English, you could translate partitif, article partitif using this word some. When we look at examples, you will get what I'm trying to say. I'll give some examples below. So, partitif, article partitif will look like this. If you have masculine, it will be du, but if it begins with a vowel, it will be del apostrophe, I think. Yes. And if it's feminine, it will be del, but if it begins with a vowel, you have del apostrophe. And if you have plural, it is des. There's one more form, it is the negative form. This will not change, there's no change. But if you remember, whenever we are talking about negative sentences using definite, it usually becomes de. And even I'll give examples for each of these cases. And even for the partitive articles, you have the form de in the negative sentence. We'll look at some examples. So, for example, let's say the boy is tall. So we are talking about a specific boy. So that's where you get if you're talking about something specific, then you will get definite articles. Again, you just have to change the gender, and then you'll get new examples. You can see the girl is tall. So you have la fille est tall. So if you're talking about something specific, then you will get definite article. Or if you're also talking about likes and dislikes, preferences more specifically, we're talking about preferences. So let's say I like tea. So you'll have to say I like. Now you have to use a definite article because you're talking about preferences. J'aime le thé. You will be using indefinite articles when you're talking about things in general. So, for example, a fruit is on the table. So we're talking about some random fruit, not any specific fruit. So you'll get indefinite article there. A fruit est sur la. So a fruit est sur la table. A fruit is on the table. So you have an indefinite article. Depending on the gender, this also changes. Let's say you want to say something like I don't have a car. I remember discussing something like this. I don't know if it was in the minor video or the previous semester. When you have a negative sentence with have, then something will happen. Wait, let me write the positive sentence first. I have a car. So, I have a car. When you convert this to negative, if you remember, UNE will change its form. So, when I write this in negative, it will become je. So, NEPAS will come around AI because negative. If you remember the rules of negation. So, je n'ai pas. I don't have de voiture. So if you remember, we did something like this previously. UNE becomes DE. So that is why I wrote DE is the negative form when you're dealing with indefinite articles. Now we look at some examples for article partitif. So indefinite articles, you use it for something that is in general, but it's still countable. But if you look at partitif articles, they're usually not countable, uncountable. So for example, if someone asks you, do you have water? Do you have, or do you have some water? If you realize water does not have THE or an before it, so there is no definite article or indefinite article in English. But you could use this some. So do you have some water? You can't count water. You can't say do you have the water unless you're being very specific. You can't say do you have a water. So French has a separate thing called partitive articles which you can use here. So this some will be replaced by the partitive article. So do you have some water? What will it become? Avez-vous? Do you have some water? So water in French is eau. And if you want to, and I think water is masculine or feminine, but it doesn't matter because it starts with a vowel. So if it starts with a vowel and it is the word is singular, water itself need not be singular, but the word is singular because it does not end with an X or an S or whatever. So since it begins with a vowel, we will put DEL apostrophe. So DEL apostrophe l'eau means some water. So avez-vous de l'eau means do you have some water? So this here is your partitive article. This. So you can't say simply low. This is wrong. You can't say. Let me check the gender of water. I think it's feminine. It is feminine. So you can't say oh. This is also wrong. The water, a water. It doesn't make sense. We look at more examples. This partitive articles usually they're more used in the context of food items because if you look at the examples, I will show you the examples. Fine, okay, we have some conversation here. No, you can look at some examples here only. If you look at this conversation, qu'est-ce que c'est de la viande? So what is it? Some meat. So you can translate partitive articles in English by using the word some. So is it some meat? This person is asking. No, ce n'est pas de la viande, c'est du poisson. So it is not meat. It is not any meat. It is some fish. So it's some form of fish probably. C'est du poisson. He did not say c'est la poisson or c'est le poisson because it would mean it's the fish, but no one says that, no? They say it's fish. No one is saying it's the fish, as though they're talking about some very specific fish. Je connais votre frère. I know your brother. Je n'ai pas de frère. So I don't have any brother. This is again negation. When you're having avoir and when you're negating your sentence, all the indefinite articles become de. I remember covering this somewhere, maybe in the previous video or the previous semester videos. Il y a du vin rosé. So il y a means there is. So let's say il y a. So there is a cat. So there's a question mark. So she's asking a question. Is there some pink wine? So du vin rosé. Why did du come? Because wine is masculine, and for singular you will have du. Right? Maybe we'll just look at some more examples. So du vin, du chocolat, du something, any masculine, du poisson, and you have for feminine you have more examples, de la viande, so some meat, some ice cream, de la glace, de la any feminine thing, or I think de la saucisse, some sausage, or no, il y a du vin rouge. There is red wine, there is white wine, du vin blanc, mais il n'y a pas de vin rosé. So there is red wine, there is white wine, but there is no pink wine. So you notice in the negative sentence, the partitive article becomes de. It became de here. De vin rosé. Moi, je n'aime pas le saucisson. I don't like saucisson. Here the person is not using partitive articles because they're talking about preferences. And I told you if you're using preferences, you're supposed to use definite articles. Le dimanche, je fais du vélo. So he's going to do some cycling. See, this is not only restricted to food. It's mostly used for food, but then it's not restricted to food. You could say du vélo. So vélo is cycling. It is masculine. So if you add du before it, it's like some cycling. I'm going to do some cycling. Je fais du vélo le dimanche. J'ai un magnifique vélo. So I have a magnificent cycle. Je voudrais un jus d'orange. So here this there's a woman who's asking a glass of orange juice. So since it is countable, you can use indefinite articles. In all the previous things, we're talking about uncountable things. You can't count wine. You can only ask a quantity of it, some quantity of wine, some wine. So du vin rosé. When you're talking about meat in general, it's not like one meat, two meat. You can't count it. So that's why you're using partitive articles. De la viande. You can count the number of fishes, but once you're cooking it, it's not like one fish, two fish. It's just fish. You have some fish that you're cooking or something. So you have to say du poisson, some fish. It's no longer one fish, two fish. You might be thinking, even you can't count juice, right? So how can you say one juice of orange? So here the person probably meant one glass of orange juice. It is just implied. So, un juice d'orange. It doesn't mean this person is asking one orange juice. This person is asking for a glass of orange juice. So you have a glass of orange juice. This is what the person probably meant. A glass of juice of orange. C'est formidable. It's great. Il y a du monde. So monde literally means world, but here in this case it means everyone. Il y a means there is. Du monde. So there's a lot of people. There's a bit of every one. So like there are many different people. So I think I drew a similar table right now in the notes. So when you're talking about people or things that you can differentiate or count, and then you have, so basically if you're talking about something specific or if you're talking about likes and dislikes, you have to use definite articles. If you're talking about something that is countable and very very general, like a boy, a clock is on the wall, there is a fruit on the table. If you're using in English, if you're using a and an, it means you're using definite articles. But let's say in English you're using some. Do you have some water? Do you have some wine? Is there some meat? uh, I'll do some cycling. So they're all uncountable, you can't count those, so you'll be using partitive articles there. I think there is a question in the Endsem worksheet. It asks you to use it. There'll be fill in the blanks, and you'll be asked to choose the appropriate article. So you'll have to choose whether you'll have to decide whether to use definite, indefinite, or partitive. So when you're perceiving people or things that can be differentiated or counted, you can use the indefinite articles un, un, and they. So I would like to have a glass of water, un verre d'eau. I eat an ice cream, je mange une glace. And I have a brother, j'ai un frère. But if it's uncountable, then we can't use un, une, and des. We'll have to use partitive articles. For example, I drink water. The reason why I didn't give examples under boire is because we might have to use partitive articles. So when you say I drink water, it's not like I drink one water, or it's not like I drink the water. You drink some water. So je bois de l'eau. I drink some water. Au dessert, in the desserts, il y a de la glace. So in desserts, there is some ice cream. See, it again depends on the context, right? When you say je mange une glace, it means you're eating a cup of ice cream. Here they're trying to say I'm eating a cup of ice cream or a cone of ice cream or whatever. But in this case, you're simply saying that there is some ice cream in the desserts menu or whatever. So some ice cream. Il y a de la glace. Il y a du monde means there is like a lot of people. There are many different kinds of people. Il y a du monde dans le restaurant. It's an expression where you have partitive articles. Definite articles. So when you're talking about preferences, again, j'aime le café de Colombie. So j'aime, it's talking about a preference. That's why you have le café. You have some verbs of preferences like aimer, adorer, préférer. So for all these places, you'll have to use definite articles. because they're all talking about preferences. Vous avez du café? Do you have some coffee? J'adore le café. I like coffee. And yes, in negative, all these partitive articles become de. So, vous avez du thé? Do you have some tea? Then this person replies, I don't have any tea. Je n'ai pas de thé. So, in the negative sense, if you want to translate, you could think of the word as any. So, I don't have any tea. Tu connais un bon restaurant? Do you know a good restaurant? The verbs connais and all, I think I've covered in the previous video, so I'm not focusing on them. Tu connais un bon restaurant? Do you know a good restaurant? Je ne connais pas de bon restaurant. I don't know any good restaurant. You see, irrespective of the gender and number, it's becoming de in the negative form. Sauf dans les cas suivants. So, except in some certain cases that follows. Ce n'est pas du whisky, c'est du bourbon. I think exceptions you can leave. It's not. Don't have to think about them. Oh, this page is also done. So, the only grammar topic that was there in this got covered. Now, I think the only thing that's left for me to do is solve the worksheet, I guess, Endsem worksheet. Okay, nice. You have the topic over here. This is indefinite articles, that is fine. So, je mange une pomme, I eat an apple. Negative is, je ne mange pas de pomme. Il achète un gâteau, he buys a cake. Il n'achète pas de gâteau, he doesn't buy any cake. But when you have when your sentence has c'est and ce sont, then you will not change your indefinite article to de. This rule was covered probably in the previous video or the previous semester whenever I taught negation. I don't remember when. So you can't do this. I think the exception covers the same case, no? Yes, the first exception, it's covering the case of so it's covering say, no? So probably that's why you have an exception. In indefinite articles you have an exception, so here in partitive articles also you have an exception. So interesting. I think partitive articles will also get covered in the same document, so let's see. Yes, so you have du, de la, you have del apostrophe, des. Je bois du lait, so I drink some milk. Lait is milk, it is masculine, so je bois du lait. Negative is je ne bois pas de lait, so negative, your du will become de. Il mange de la confiture, so I think it means honey. He eats some honey. Negative, il mange becomes il ne mange pas because ne pas will come around the verb, and de la confiture becomes de confiture because in the negative your partitive article will become de, so he doesn't eat any honey. Elle boit de l'eau, she drinks some water, it becomes she doesn't drink any water. Elle boit will become elle ne boit pas, she doesn't drink and any water, so d apostrophe eau. D apostrophe is there because this, oh my god. So when you remove this, when you convert del apostrophe to de, eau begins with a vowel, no? So you'll have to remove the e and put apostrophe. So you have d apostrophe eau. Nous mangeons des concombres. We are eating some cucumbers. Nous ne mangeons pas de concombres. We are not eating any cucumbers. And definite articles, you people know. This is, I think, one of the first things we learnt in French. Le, la. There's no change in negation, it will say the same. So, j'aime le fromage. So, you're talking about your preference. I like cheese. And if you say you don't like cheese, je n'aime pas, the definite article will not become de, it will remain as it is in the as it was in the original sentence. So, je n'aime pas le fromage. I don't like cheese. La pomme est rouge. The apple is red. So you're talking about a certain apple, a very specific apple. The apple is red. So la pomme n'est pas rouge. I don't like. No, the apple isn't red. Les légumes, the vegetables, sont bons pour la santé. Vegetables are good for the health. Are good for health. Negative. Nothing will happen. So les légumes ne sont pas bons pour la santé. So vegetables are not good for health. Here sont is the être verb, right? So you have ne pas around sont. So les légumes ne sont pas, and then you have the adjective bon pour la santé. The entire expression stays the same. Okay, that was a nice revision of articles. Everything is said and done. I think now is the time to. Okay, worksheet. Okay, you have one more thing, no? You have some expressions of quantities. Expression of quantities. Okay, this is one more topic. Interesting. Let's see. I think I was not there when this was discussed, so let me. So, un morceau is a morsel, I guess. I'm opening a translator. Let's see. So I'm writing down the meanings. I don't think I have this physical copy, that's why I'm writing the answers here. Verre is glass, so glass of. Bouteille is bottle, so a bottle of. I mean, a part of or a share of. Tas is also a cup, but then I think there's a difference between Weg and Tas. So I think this is also a glass. I think one of them is a cup. This has a handle probably. At least that is what Google is telling. There's a handle. So does it make it a cup? Okay, it is a cup. So it becomes a cup because it has a handle. So I've written the meanings. So let's look at the answers. So a piece of a morceau de. Oh, we'll have to know what the right side things are as well, right? So I think here we have salt. I think this is salt. So sell. And is this tart or anything? It looks like tart, no? So I think it is tart. So let me write tart. And then this is cheese, so fromage. And this is bread, so it is pain. This is water, so eau. This is wine, so vin. Coffee or tea? Probably coffee, so write café. Honey is confiture. What do I call this? A can of what? Soda or cola? Maybe I'll just say cola. I think this is just chocolate, right? So like chocola. Now it's time to match the following. So I think it's apparent. No, spoon of salt. A slice of bread. A tablet of chocolate. A jar of honey. A can of cola. I think a piece of cheese probably. I think. So I'll put. What will go with. What is remaining? You have where? You have put okay, bottle of wine. You have cup, you have part. I think cup of coffee works well, and a glass of water should work well. So if you have a handle, it is a tas. If you don't, where is a general glass, but if you say tas, it should have a handle, and that's why it's a cup. And I think the remaining is, this will go to tart. Let me once verify if the dotted lines are correct. Yes, it is. It looks like it's correct. Yes, I think these are the correct answers. So you have a piece of cheese, you have a slice of bread, a spoon of salt, a glass of water, a bottle of wine, a part of tart, a cup of coffee, a can of cola, a tablet of chocolate, a jar of honey. Fine. So you have some expressions of quantity. You'll have to know the meanings. Since I don't have the physical copy of this, so let me just solve the worksheet here. Okay, compléter avec les articles partitifs. So you'll have to choose the appropriate partitive article and solve this worksheet. So first, solve this exercise. So first question: Je prends dash pain avec mon repas. I take dash bread with my meal. So I take some bread, and bread is masculine and the word is singular. So I will put du. Du. Oh my god, it is thick. So let me write it somewhere else. So the answer for the first one is du. Second one, elle boit dash eau minérale. She drinks dash mineral water. You can see that it begins with a vowel, so you can, and the word is singular. There is no s, x or whatever. There is no sign of plurality. So you can directly use del. Del apostrophe, I meant, because it begins with a vowel. So she drinks some water. Elle boit de l'eau minérale. Nous mangeons dash fraises. We eat dash strawberries. So strawberries, you can see the plural here. We eat strawberries. So since it's plural, you don't have to look at anything. The sentence is not in negative, so you can directly put des. So the first answer will be des. Nous mangeons des fraises au dessert parce qu'il n'y a pas dash yaourt. Now you see, we're eating strawberries in dessert because I told you Ilia is there, is no? And let me add there. It is congested. So this is the negative form. There is no cat. If you notice, un became de because negative sentence. Okay, so where were we? Because there is no yogurt. So how yogurt is, now it doesn't matter. The sentence is in negative, so you directly write de. Fourth one, tu ne veux pas dash chocolat? Do you not want chocolate? The question is in negative because you have NE and PAS, and since it is in negative, you can directly put DE. And if the word begins with a vowel, then you'll have to put D dash, but chocolat doesn't begin with a vowel. Uh, Fifth one, il prépare dash soupe pour le dîner. They're preparing some soup for dinner, no? So some soup. Here soup is mostly feminine, right? Let me confirm because it ends with an E. It is feminine, yes. So they prepared some soup for dinner. So feminine, singular. So it will be DELA. So il prépare de la soupe pour le dîner. Vous buvez dash thé le matin. Do you drink dash tea in the morning? Do you drink some tea in the morning? So here the sentence is non-negative. Tea is singular and masculine. So you'll have to put du. So vous buvez du thé. The first answer will be du. The answer is no, je ne prends jamais dash thé le matin. So you see some form of negation, no? You have NE over there. Even though you don't have PAS, you have NE. So this is like never. I never take tea in the morning. So I never take any tea in the morning. And what is the negative form of partitive articles? It is DE. So the answer will be DE. No, je ne prends jamais de thé. So it doesn't matter. Since it's a negative sentence, this partitive article will take the form DE because the negative form of partitive article is DE. Seventh question, il y a dash beurre sur la table. So there is dash butter on the table. So there is some butter on the table. So, and I think beurre is what's the gender of butter? Is it masculine? Or I think feminine, but let's check once. Oh, it is masculine. Interesting. So this is an exception. It ends with an E, but then it is masculine. So masculine singular means DU. So you'll get DU here. Il y a du beurre sur la table. Je prends dash riz avec le poulet. So I take some rice with chicken. So some rice. Rice is again masculine, singular. So you'll have to put du. Je prends du riz avec du poulet. Now, second question. Now it's not only partitive articles. Now we might also have to use indefinite articles. So choisissez entre un, une, des ou du, de. Okay, fine. So we'll have to use either partitive articles or indefinite articles. First question. Tu veux dash part de pizza? If you notice, we've just covered expressions of quantity, right? So in the expressions of quantity always begin with indefinite articles, and that's why if you look at this sentence, it is very much obvious. Part de pizza, so a part of pizza or whatever. So you will have to write in indefinite article here. So it will become un part de pizza because look at this. You have un part. You have un part. A share. I found it on Google, so this is one more translation. So since you were able to recognize that it is an expression of quantity, you can directly write it is un part de pizza. Sandra offre dash jus d'orange aux enfants mais. Okay, the sentence is not complete. So Sandra offers dash orange juice to children. So partitive article or indefinite article? I mean, they did not explicitly mention that they're uh, giving glasses of orange juice. So you'll have to talk about some orange juice. So I think Sandra is offering some orange juice to the children. Right? So then that would be DES. Or no, partitive article, no? Jus d'orange is masculine singular, so you'll get DO. I have to check this, so I'll write it in red, DO. So Sandra offers some orange juice to students. Or children, I guess, not students. Enfant is children. So Sandra offers some orange juice to children. Nous préparons des salades. So we are preparing some salad. So it's not like we are preparing. Oh, in English probably you could say we are preparing a salad, but when it comes to food items, we would mostly use uh, partitive articles. When we're talking about some quantity of thing. But now again, this is interesting. We are preparing a salad, or are we preparing some quantity of salad? I would like to think it is some quantity of salad. Nous préparons de la salade. I would go with the answer de la salade, but if your teachers must have given any other answer, do let me know. I think the answer to this is, since it's I'm going with partitive articles, and since it's singular feminine, it will be salade is singular and feminine. Put DELA. Fourth question. Mon fils, my son, does not eat dash fromage. This is a negative sentence. My son doesn't eat cheese, any cheese. So directly the answer will be DE. He doesn't eat any cheese. So partitive article, negative form, DE. Ils prennent dash cuillère de confiture avec leur tartine. So they take dash spoon. So spoon of honey. So you just have to look at the word that is after the blank, and even probably before, because you have to look at whether this sentence is negative or not. So they're taking a spoon. So see, when I'm telling it in English only, you would understand. I'm taking a spoon. It's not, you won't take some spoon, you're taking a spoon. So a spoon means it will be indefinite articles. So a spoon means here spoon is feminine. Cuillère. Cuillère? Is it feminine? Cuillère in French. It is feminine, yes. Is the spelling even right? Cuillère. Yes, cuillère. Cuillère is feminine, so you'll have UNE. On boit, sixth one, on boit dash limonade fraîche. So we drink a dash fresh lemonade. So we drink some fresh lemonade. So some will be partitive articles, and limonade is feminine, singular. So de la. On boit de la limonade fraîche. Right? Let me verify if limonade is masculine or feminine. Feminine, yes, fine. Seventh one. Je mange dash tranche. So tranche is very much, it ends with an E, it looks like a feminine word. So je mange dash tranche de pain avec du fromage. So I'm eating some, what is tranche? Is it some form of a dessert or something? Slice. Oh my goodness, it's a slice. Did we come across it? Yes, so it's an expression of quantity. Une tranche, a slice. It sounded like a nice name of a dessert, but okay, fine. So it's an expression of quantity, so without question, you can simply put your indefinite article. So je mange une tranche de pain. So I eat a slice of bread with cheese. Eighth one, elle boit toujours dash tasse de thé. Again, tasse de thé. It's an expression of quantity. So une tasse de thé. She always drinks a glass of, she always drinks a cup of tea. Il n'y a pas dash eau dans le frigo. Frigo is French, so there isn't any water in the fridge. There isn't any water in the fridge. So there isn't any water. So partitive article, negative form, because it's not like there isn't a water or anything. It's you can't say a water, no. So it is partitive article. There is no water in the fridge. So how do you say no water? Partitive article de, right? But o begins with a vowel, so it will become d apostrophe. So il n'y a pas d'eau dans le frigo. Tu peux acheter dash kilo de pommes de terre, s'il te plaît. So you can you maybe this is a question. No, you can purchase dash kilos of potatoes, please. Now here it's a number, no? How would you put anything here? Okay, you could say you could purchase some kilos of potatoes, some kilos. It's like the word some could either mean partitive or it could also mean indefinite articles. For example, when you say there is a fruit on the table, that is indefinite article. There is a fruit. But when you say there are multiple fruits, there are some fruits on the table. Now you can count, the fruits are countable, but you did not provide a number, so it is still indefinite articles. So I will be using des. So I think I have to mention which one is which one, no? So this is indefinite article, this is partitive article, this is partitive article. So this is partitive article, this is indefinite. This is indefinite. No, this is partitive. Partitive, indefinite, indefinite, partitive. This des is indefinite. You have des on both sides. You have it in indefinite, you also have it in partitive. So the person is selling, you can buy some kilos of potatoes, please. So it's like there is a fruit on the table, there are some fruits on the table. The fruits are still countable. Here the number of kilos of the number of kilos of potatoes are countable. So it is, we will be using indefinite articles, but it is not one, it is plural, so you'll use des. The plural of indefinite articles is des. Now the last bit, okay, not the last bit. Okay, we'll do this fast now. I'll just fill in the answers for this one. Compléter avec you have definite articles, you have indefinite articles, you also have partitive articles. Let me fill. Je prends dash croissant et dash petite tasse de café. So I take some croissant. You could say that, no? So you could write je prends du croissant, assuming croissant is masculine. It is masculine. So je prends du croissant et dash petite tasse de café. Here you have tasse de café. So it means it's an expression of quantity. So you'll have to use indefinite articles. So une tasse de café, right? So une petite tasse de café, a small cup of coffee au petit déjeuner, during breakfast. Dash fruits sont bons pour la santé. If you remember when we looked at the examples in the previous document where all the articles have been summarized, indefinite articles, definite articles, and partitive articles, there they gave this one. If you're talking about preferences, or if you're also talking about facts, if you're talking about facts, then you'll have to use the definite article. So let me mention facts also. Or if you're also talking about facts. So what kind of facts? Facts could be like so one example is this one: fruits are good for health. It's a fact. So when you talk about facts like this, we will be using definite articles. So les fruits are good. Les fruits sont bons for health. So pour la santé. La santé is health. So that is the example that they've given here. So when you're talking about facts also, you'll have definite articles. So this will directly be les fruits. Les fruits sont bons pour la santé. Tu veux dash orange. Now if you look at orange, there I think the person is offering only one orange. So he's asking, do you want an orange? It's countable. You're asking about some orange in general. So do you want an orange? So it will take indefinite articles. I mean, he won't be asking, do you want the orange? That will not make sense. Do you want an orange? An orange means it's indefinite. So, and orange is masculine or feminine? Feminine, right? It is feminine. So, tu veux une orange? Tu veux? Indefinite article and feminine singular. So, tu veux une orange? No merci, je déteste dash orange. Now, je déteste is a verb of preference. And when we are dealing with verbs of preference, you will use the definite articles. And look at the verb after it. Orange ends with an S. So, you have plural. Plural definite article means les, les. Je déteste les oranges. Fourth one. Il boit toujours dash grand verre de l'eau. So he always drinks dash. So if you notice, if you read the sentence, you have verre de l'eau. So this is an expression of quantity. So you have expression of quantity. Oh, this works well. So you have expression of quantity. So that would mean you will have to use indefinite article, and the sentence is also not negative or anything. So il boit toujours. So what is verre? So you'll have to write the expression. Verre is masculine, so you'll have to write un verre. So il boit toujours un grand verre de l'eau. de l'eau chaude le matin. So he always drinks uh, a large glass of hot water in the morning. Elle achète dash pomme. She buys dash pomme. So she buys dash uh, apples. So in English, she buys some apples. So she buys some apples, right? So apples you can count. So if you can count, it means it is not partitive. It's either indefinite or definite, but we're not talking about anything specific. We're talking about apples in general, so it is indefinite articles. And pommes is in plural, so plural indefinite means des. Elle achète des pommes. Fromage is cheese. So she buys dash cheese. You can't buy cheeses. You can only buy some cheese. So some cheese means it's uncountable. So partitive article. Fromage is masculine. So partitive article. In partitive article, masculine singular means du. You'll have to look at the table. I have the table in my mind, so I'm able to write it. This table. You'll have to know where to use what. And bread. Bread is also, if you see, they did not say breads or anything. They just said bread. So she buys some bread. Some bread means you'll have to use partitive articles again because you can't count bread. It's not like one bread, two bread. So partitive articles, pain is masculine singular, so you'll write du. Nous aimons. Okay, nous aimons. Verbs of preference. This is verbs of preference. So you'll have to use definite articles. Nous aimons le chocolat noir. We like black chocolate. Oh my god, I don't think I can control the thickness of this, can I? No, I can't. Oh, much worse. Better. Marc commande dash pizza et dash bouteille de vin. So Marc orders. So if you see, what is the logical answer to this? Marc orders a pizza, right? Pizza is apparently feminine, so Mark orders a pizza and a bottle of wine. Right? It makes sense. Mark orders a pizza and a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine. You can count how many bottles of wine. So that's why. And they're not he's not ordering a specific bottle of wine. He's ordering a bottle of wine in general. So just you'll have to use indefinite articles. Singular, feminine, so une in both the cases. Bouteille is bottle, singular, feminine. Eighth one, dash soup de légumes est délicieux. So dash soup of vegetables is delicious. Here soup is feminine. I mean, if you're saying something is delicious, it means you're talking about a specific soup, right? So you'll have to use definite articles. You can't say a soup of vegetables is delicious. You could say the soup of. Again, I think it depends on the context. I will go along with the soup of vegetables is delicious. It means they already had it, so they're talking about it. So it's a specific soup of vegetables. So if you're using definite articles, soup is feminine singular, so you'll get la. La soupe de légumes est délicieuse. Vous préférez dash jus de pomme ou dash lait? So they're asking, do you prefer apple juice or milk? again, when we say juice, it could possibly mean a glass of that juice, a glass of apple juice. But to be on the safe side, we could probably just go along with. Oh wait, vous préférez. Do you prefer? Here, there's a verb of preference, no? Uh, so since we have word of reference, so I think we will just directly have to use definite articles. Vous préférez le jus de pomme? Definite article. Jus is masculine singular. Les is also masculine singular. Verb of preference, so directly definite articles. 10th one. Je prends dash yaourt nature après dash repas. I take dash nature yogurt or whatever after dash meal. So this person is telling I take some yogurt. It's not like one yogurt, two yogurt. You are some yogurt, so some quantity of yogurt. So you're taking some quantity of yogurt, it will become, you'll have to use partitive articles. And here yogurt is masculine singular. At least it looks like that. Let me verify once. I think it is masculine singular. Yeah. It is masculine, so partitive article masculine singular, you'll get du. So je prends du yaourt, and then after the meal, right? So if you're saying I take some yogurt, some natural yogurt after the meal. So after the meal, so après le repas probably. Je prends du yaourt nature après le repas. It can't be like. Uh, it's like I think they're describing their routine, so I think you'll have to use definite article there. I take some yogurt after après le repas, so after meal, so in general, so something like that probably. I feel the answer here should be le après le repas. I don't see uh, I don't see any other appropriate solution. Okay, fine. So this is done. Look, what is this now? Let's see. Lisez le texte et complétez avec le bon article selon le contexte. So it's the same as the third one. It's just that now you have a paragraph. So Mata, this morning Julie goes to the market. Okay. She buys. What does she buy? She buys an apple. So it's singular, no? So it means she buys an apple. An apple means indefinite article, feminine singular, une. She buys an apple. Here I see a plural word. So she buys some bananas. So countable but not mentioned. So it would become indefinite plural. Indefinite plural is des. She buys an apple. She buys some bananas, and she buys something. She buys dash kilo of tomatoes. It is kilo, 1 kilo. Do not get confused by looking at this S. She buys 1 kilo of tomatoes. So 1 kilo means she buys a kilo of tomatoes. So how do you say it in indefinite articles? It will become she buys a kilo of tomatoes. So 1 kilo de tomate. She buys a kilo of tomatoes. Oh, she buys more things. And dash basket de champignon. I think some form of a basket of mushrooms probably. So whatever this basket is, let me verify but it doesn't matter. Now you can understand. Probably some a basket of or a barquet of mushrooms. So the answer is right? A barquet. So that means indefinite articles, and this looks like a feminine singular word. So it will be une. But let me now try translating what barquette is. Okay, barquette is a tray of mushrooms. So she buys a tray of mushrooms. Elle, she also takes dash bread. She also takes dash bread. So she also takes some bread, some quantity of bread. So when you say some quantity, it will become partitive articles. And in partitive article, if you look at pain, this is masculine singular, which would make the answer du, masculine singular. Elle prend aussi du pain et morceau de fromage. Now you have expression of quantity. So directly you will get your indefinite article. Uh, un morceau de fromage. Elle aime beaucoup. Okay, now you have uh, verbs of preference. So you'll have to use definite articles. Elle aime beaucoup les fruits because fruits is in plural and we are talking about definite articles. Plural definite article is les, and we are still it is still she likes. So we are still talking about verbs of preference. So definite article, vegetable is in plural. So plural definite article is les. Ensuite, okay. Following that, she goes to the baker, boulangerie, for buying something. For buying what? Dash baguette. She went to the bakery for buying dash baguette. So to buy dash baguette. So baguette here is singular. So to buy a baguette. So you're buying one baguette. So baguette is a feminine singular noun. You're buying a baguette, so a baguette means une baguette. Feminine singular, no? Indefinite articles. And you have again your expression, expression of quantity. So you'll have to use your indefinite article again. Un part de tarte aux fraises. Okay, a part of something. In the at noon she prepares dash salad. So at noon she prepares dash salad. What does she prepare? Uh, she prepares probably some salad. It's not like a salad or I think it's some quantity of salad, right? She prepares some quantity of salad. So she prepares some quantity of salad means we are talking about partitive articles. Salad is feminine singular. So in partitive articles, feminine singular means de la. Elle prépare de la salade avec dash thon. Thon is tuna, no? We've seen it in the textbook. Thon is tuna. It was le thon, so thon is masculine singular. So it's not like you'll be preparing one tuna, two tuna or something. No, tuna is like a dish of some sorts. So you're preparing some quantity of tuna. So you'll have to use partitive articles. And masculine singular partitive article is du. So de la salade avec du thon, dash huile d'olive. So this is olive oil. Huile is oil, and it is feminine, I suppose. Yes, it is because it ends with any. So she prepares some salad, some quantity of tuna, and some quantity of olive oil probably. So some quantity of olive oil. So partitive articles, feminine singular. But then if you notice, this begins with an H. So for partitive articles in singular form, if anything begins with a vowel or an H, you will get DEL apostrophe. So that is what you'll get here. DEL apostrophe, because you have huile here, H, right? So L apostrophe. A vinaigre, so vinegar probably. I'll have to check its gender. Is it masculine or feminine? It ends with an E, but Not sure. Let me check. Vinaigre is masculine. Wow. So that's fine. So vinaigre is masculine. So vinegar is masculine. So you'll be preparing some quantity of vinegar, right? So partitive articles because some quantity, and this is masculine singular, so you'll get du. Like meat, she is going to cook. Uh, no, or as for meat, she is going to cook dash chicken from press, poulet de presse. So she's going to cook some chicken from like some quantity of poulet de presse. It's not like she's going to cook one chicken the press, two chicken the press. Not like that. She's going to cook some quantity. So partitive articles. Poulet is masculine singular. So partitive article masculine singular will be partitive article masculine singular will be du. Their brother Paul prefers dash. So prefer. So you have again verbs of preference. So you'll be using definite articles. So Paul prefers pizza. Pizza is feminine. So la pizza. Ale soda. So we have soda here. I think soda is masculine. Hopefully, let me see. It is masculine. So Paul préfère la pizza et le soda. Il le mange. Okay, he doesn't eat dash meat. So he doesn't eat any meat. So he doesn't eat any quantity of meat. So basically partitive articles but negative form. Negative form is only one thing. It is just de. So he doesn't eat meat, no? He doesn't eat any meat. De. If it begins with a vowel, it would have been d apostrophe. Now say. Okay. Now we have say. Interesting. Let's see if. Okay. This is again we. If you remember, how do we use say? So we could say. So if you say something like c'est une actrice, you can it means it's an actress. But if you write L, you'll have to write Elle est actrice. So these two sentences are the same. But it's just that when you're using say, you will have to use an article. Here you can't use an article. So similarly, instead of saying il est végétarien, they're using the other form. Instead of saying it like this, they're using this say form. So since you're using say form, you'll have to use the indefinite article. Oh, let me write the sentence. So il est végétarien is nothing but c'est un végétarien. So here only we got the answer. We'll get UN there. So c'est un végétarien. He is a vegetarian. He is not going to eat dash poulet de presse of Julie. So il ne va pas manger dash poulet de presse de Julie. So he's not going to eat. He's not going to eat any quantity of the chicken which Julie makes. So any quantity means partitive articles negative form, right? He's not going to eat any chicken, no chicken. So negative form of partitive articles, if you see, it is just de. So il ne va pas manger de poulet de presse de Julie. Donc thus Julie is also preparing dash pizza. Julie is also preparing. I think in this case you could say a pizza, right? She's going to prepare a pizza. Now again, now that I think about it, is this going to be Dila? Because she's going to prepare a salad. I think a salad also makes sense here, no? She's going to prepare a salad. Let me once see. Prepare. But I think salad answer is fine because I think it's like some quantity of salad. But pizza you can count pizzas, right? So one pizza. So Julie is going to prepare one pizza. So I think we can say Julie is going to prepare a pizza. So pizza is feminine, singular. So une pizza. So Julie is also going to prepare a pizza with dash mushrooms and dash cheese. So she's going to prepare a pizza with some mushrooms. So, uh, so it will be DES. If you're able to count the mushrooms, probably DES, indefinite. I think that is most probably the case because I think that is the case. Even if it's not the case, even if you say you can't count it in all of those, the plural form in uh, partitive articles is still DES, so it wouldn't make a difference. So here the answer is DES. Whether it's indefinite or partitive, you think about it. So uh, she's also going to prepare a pizza with mushrooms and dash cheese. Now cheese you can't count, so some quantity of cheese. She's also going to prepare a pizza with some quantity of cheese. So some quantity of cheese would mean partitive articles, and fromage is masculine, singular. So du fromage. Just for Paul, juste pour Paul. Mm, fine. So this was the last thing. I think after this is hopefully nothing. Okay. I don't. Where is the Endsem worksheet? Right. Oh, it's here. Syllabus. So futur proche, impératif. I've covered in the previous video. This is covered. This is covered. Vouloir, pouvoir, devoir is also covered. Boire we've just seen. I think prendre. I think these are also covered. Yes, these were also covered in the previous video. Partitif we've just covered. These things were there in the previous video, as far as I remember. These were there in the previous video, and now we covered this. So we have food items and drinks. So from the worksheets and from the French folder that Balaji sir had uploaded, you could see, you could go through them, learn the vocabulary. Places of outings, could go out probably. Expression. So this is the new one more new thing. Along with partitive articles, we have this also: expressions of quantity, a slice of bread, a cup of coffee, and all those things. So you have reading comprehension, you have grammar, so vocabulary. So vocabulary you could be asked, and then you have MCQs. That is fine. So now we look at the Endsem worksheet. Endsem worksheet. Okay. Complétez les. Okay. Complete the sentences while conjugating the correct verb from the following in future prosh. Given below in future prosh. So you have verbs conjugate in future prosh. So next year I dash French in Royan. So what will you possibly do with French? You will study French, right? So next year I am going to study French. So future proche I've covered in the previous video. So watch that and come back. So I'll directly write the answers here. So étudier, je is there, no? So what is, okay, let me write future proche structure here. So future proche will be like you have the subject, then you have aller, you have to conjugate this. So you have to conjugate aller, and then you have the infinitive. This is how it's going to look like. So je, you have to know the conjugation of aller for that. Here subject is je, so aller will become je vais, je vais. Subject plus conjugation of aller and then infinitive. So this will become je vais étudier. This infinitive will not change. So next year I am going to study. I am going to study French in Royan. Nicole et Paul dash le gâteau au chocolat. So Nicole and Paul dash chocolate cake. So what could be the possible answer? It can't be this. This is already done. It can't be dancing. It is probably like or love, right? How can you affirm this? I think it is love, because you can see Nicole and Paul love chocolate cake, and you already have a definite article, so it means that is possible. That is probably the right answer, is what I'm thinking. So let's see. Nicole and Paul are going to love the chocolate cake. So I think someone made a chocolate cake for them, and then they're saying that Nicole and Paul are going to love the chocolate cake. So Nicole and Paul, right? So it means it is like ILS. They. And the conjugation of aller for ILS will be vont. So Nicole et Paul vont, and then the infinitive is written as it is. So adorer. Nicole et Paul vont adorer. So they're going to love the chocolate cake. Nous. Nous, the conjugation of aller for nous is nous allons. So nous allons. Now which verb will come? Nous allons. This is done. This is done. Probably don't say, because we dash all together Friday, next Friday. So we dash together next Friday. So probably dancing, right? We are going to dance together next Friday. That could possibly that makes sense. So I will put danser here. Danser. Fourth one. Tomorrow he dash a good a beautiful surprise or whatever, a great surprise for his birthday. So it can't be telephone, not absolutely not. So avoir. So he is going to have. So il is there. Conjugation of ale for il is va. So il va. That you can put avoir. So he's going to have. So it fits the context. He's going to have a great surprise, a beautiful surprise for his birthday. The last remaining thing is telephone, so you don't have to think. But just check if it's fitting the context or not. That way you will know if all your answers are correct or not. So for vous, the conjugation of aller is aller. So vous allez téléphoner. Vous allez téléphoner. Vous allez téléphoner. Vous allez téléphoner. Lucie ce soir. Are you going to call Lucy this evening? She is ill. Okay, that is futur proche. Now you have l'impératif, imperative sentences, which was also covered in the previous video. So basically dropping the subjects. So if you remember, you just drop the subject first, and this is an ER verb, no? This is an ER verb, and for tu, in the ER verb you have to drop the S as well. So it is simply ne cuisine pas ce soir. So, okay, fine. Second one, vous avez du courage dans ces moments difficiles. So it says you have some courage. So it's asking, imperative means you will have no subject. So have some courage in these difficult moments. Have some courage. So if you had gone through the previous video, you would know what is the imperative form of avoir. So in this case it is vous, right? So it will be ayez, irregular imperative form, right? So ayez du courage dans ces moments difficiles. Irregular, it's not an ER verb, it's an irregular form. We've discussed this in the previous video. Nous prenons une glace au dessert. We take an ice cream or whatever. We are taking an ice cream or whatever. Now convert this to imperative. So how do you do that? This is an ER. No, it's not an ER verb. But essentially you drop the subject, and in this case I think you should be good to go. There's no other change here. Right? Drop the subject. Prenons une glace au dessert. So this exactly will work. That's fine. So this is the imperative. So it means let's take an ice cream. So prenons une glace au dessert. Tu ne peux pas sortir ce soir. Okay, so in some sentences you will find words like can, must, want, and all of those. You are supposed to remove all of those as well when you're dropping the subject, when you're trying to convert it into imperative. So when I cut this, you're also supposed to remove these words. You're not supposed to keep them. Now you have to convert these to imperative. So it will be ne. Sortir is not an imperative, it's an infinitive. So convert it to imperative. So here the subject is tu, right? So it will be ne sort pas ce soir. If the subject were vous, you would have written ne sortez pas. depends on the subject. Now for the last example, you have to convert this to imperative. It's an infinitive. So it's about waking yourself, right? Reflexive, we've also covered reflexive verbs for imperative in the previous video. So I think here the answer will be réveille-toi. So reflexive verbs, imperative. You'll have to see. It's not a negative sentence, it's a positive one. So wake up, basically. Réveille-toi. So that is imperative for you. Complete this sentences while conjugating the correct verb in the present tense. Okay, now you have conjugations. You have to remember. Okay, we'll have to select the verb here and then conjugate them. You have to pick one out of the two. Vouloir is want, devoir is must, pouvoir is can. So you only have these three things here in this entire exercise. I am tired. I don't dash go to college today. So I am tired. I don't want to go to college. So that is very much obvious. So I don't want to go. So it will be vouloir. You have to conjugate vouloir. For je, it will be V-E-U-X. Je ne veux pas aller au collège. Collège. We don't dash go to cinema this evening. We have an exam. We have a difficult exam tomorrow. So is it must or can? I think the obvious answer is can. We can't go to cinema this evening. We have a difficult exam tomorrow. So the answer should be pouvoir, and the conjugation of pouvoir for on will be P-E-U-T. You have to go through the conjugation once. C question. She does not dash go out this evening. So she does not dash go out this evening. So is it want or is it can? She is ill. So since she is ill, it means she can't go out. No, so she can't go out. She cannot go out this evening. She cannot go out this evening. So can is here. So it can't be vouloir. So the conjugation of pouvoir for L is again same, P-E-U-T. She can't go out this evening. She is ill. We dash eat in a restaurant this evening. We want to eat in a restaurant this evening. We must eat in a restaurant this evening. It's Paul's birthday. Oh, now what should we pick? It's Paul's birthday. So should it be like we must eat in a restaurant this evening or we want to eat in a restaurant this evening? Depends on the okay, they've given enough context now. For me, it looks like both of them are fine, no? We want to eat in a restaurant. Maybe once look at the context for this. I'll cross check. You guys can also cross check. Which one do you think is more appropriate? We want to eat in a restaurant this evening. It's Paul's birthday. Or we must eat in a restaurant this evening. It's Paul's birthday. I'll go with want for now. So if you conjugate want, it will be vouloir will become V-E-U-T for O-N. And okay, you dash accompany me to the supermarket. Do you dash accompany me to the supermarket? Do you want to accompany me, or is it can you accompany me to the supermarket? I don't have
No, I
a
can't.
car. I don't have a car.
I
So
have a
I
car, you
think
can
she's
come with
not
me.
going to. It's not like, do you want to accompany me to the supermarket? No, it will be, can you accompany me to the supermarket? Because he doesn't have a car. So he's requesting, can you accompany me to the supermarket? So it will be pouvoir. So tu peux m'accompagner au supermarché, je n'ai pas de voiture. That is done. Complete the sentences complete the sentences with connaître or savoir in present tense. So now you'll have to know when to use connaître and when to use savoir. If you remember, connaître is for persons or things, and savoir is for facts and all those things. And savoir is used before verbs. So, given this rough summary, now we will, or rough revision, we'll see. You dash this Japanese restaurant near the school. Do you know this? See, the translation for everything will be no, but which no is it? We'll have to decide. So, do you know this? Do you know this Japanese restaurant near the school? So this is a thing, right? It's a noun. So you'll have to use connaître, and connaître conjugation here will be tu connais. And here there is a verb, right? Since there's a verb, it should most probably be savoir, and savoir conjugation here is for je sais. So I know how to speak a little bit of Italian and whatever. Excuse me, you dash when the train arrives. So it's like a phrase. Was it a phrase of some sorts? Yes. So if you have something like this also, you're supposed to use savoir. It's like a sentence, some kind of a fact or whatever. I do not know what was the word that I used. A clause, a phrase, I don't remember. But this is like some piece of information. So you'll have to use savoir for pieces of information. Do you know when is the train arriving? So vous savez. Vous savez when is the train arriving? So some piece of information. They dash. They don't what? They don't know very well this neighborhood. They don't know this neighborhood very well. They are new here. They don't know this neighborhood. So they don't know this neighborhood. So it means knowing some object. So knowing some object will make it connaître, and connaître conjugation for ILS will be connaissent. They don't know the neighborhood. Oh my goodness. They don't know the neighborhood. She dash. Okay, we have dance here, so it's a verb. Danser is a verb. Most probably it is savoir. So conjugation for ELLE will be se. Let's read the sentence. She knows how to dance salsa. Yes, it makes sense. So this is correct. So you have verb here, you have this thing here, you have this verb here, you have this sentence here, you have this. Nice. Complete the dialogue with uh, sentences that are. Okay, how do you complete the dialogue now? Do you write on your own? Okay, this is this proposé une sortie and all of that, no? I think. Do you want to come to my place this Sunday? We can revise for the exam. We can revise for the French exam. There's a blank in the first place as well, so probably it's like some greeting. So you can put whatever, I guess. Salut, Samir. Do you want to come to my place this Sunday? We can revise for the French exam. And then I think Samir will ask something. Wait, did they give any sent? No, they didn't give. So you're supposed to use your own creativity and write what you can. So depending on the answer, you have to create a question or some valid response. So Samir will say something, then Julie will say, we are going to revise verbs and vocabulary. And you'll also have to respond to the questions given above, no? So first you have to accept. So we went through the inviter, accepter, refuser, no? All of that. In proposer, une sortie, we've seen all of that. So you could use any one of those. So let's see. Salut Samir. So you could say Salut Julie. You greet back. Then you respond to this. Tu veux venir chez moi ce dimanche? Do you want to come to my place this Sunday? We can revise for the French exam. So you're supposed to accept first, no? It looks like if you go through the conversation, it looks like Samir accepts in the first place. So how do you accept? You have many ways of accepting. You could say okay. Maybe could say I don't know, I'm just cooking some things up. You could go back to the yes, it's okay. I think, and then he would ask now he will ask what are we going to do, no? Something like that. Or what are we revising? So I could probably, what are we revising, right? Again, now I think this exercise is dependent, it will depend on how you will be able to use the phrases that you saw in proposer une sortie here. So it depends on your vocabulary skill or whatever. So I don't think there is any escaping of any sorts. There's no formula or something. It again depends on you. The last thing you could do for such an exercise is you just reply to the questions that they've given, depending on the context of the entire conversation. And then if you think the other person has responded, ask a question similar to that. So here, possibly what I'm thinking is Samir will ask, what are we going to revise? What are we revising? So I'll write qu'est-ce qu'on va, what are we going to revise? So what are we going to revise? Qu'est-ce qu'on va réviser? If you I was told that this worksheet was discussed in class, so if there is any simpler way of doing this conversation, do let the others know. I saw this question for the first time, so I'm just writing my own answers here for the conversation. It's not that it's wrong, but some people might find it's difficult or whatever, but I'm not sure. Okay, so to this question, Julie is answering. We are going to revise verbs and vocabulary. Then Samir will say something. Then Judy will say, super, on va travailler ensemble. We are going to work together. It's going to be easy. Now this Samir is a very cryptic fellow. Now how am I supposed to guess all of his dialogues? Samir, we're going to revise. And then Samir will say something, and then Julie says, super. Okay, why will she say super? We are going to work together, it's going to be easy. What will Samir say that Julie is going to say this line? Do you think Samir is going to agree coming to this? Do you think this sentence will come here? I think he will accept here, I guess. So I will shift it here. It looks more appropriate to the. Would make sense now. So when she invites Samir, Samir's first response will be, "What are we going to revise?" What are we going to revise? And then Julie responds, we are going to revise so and so. I think now Samir will agree, and that's why Julie is very happy that he agreed. You can say whatever, I don't know. Oh, you could use this samava. It works for me, samava. So you say it works for me. Then Julie is going to say super because Samir agreed, and then Julie adds one more sentence. We're going to work together. It's going to be easy. And then Samir will say something. So I think Samir is going to ask something about fixing a meeting. So fixer un rendezvous. So we have some phrases there as well. So he's probably asking where are we going to meet, or when are we going to meet, or when am I supposed to come? Because Judy says come at 4 p.m. So is it going to be when am I supposed to come, or when should I come? Or when must I come? That's a simpler question, right? So when must I come is something like when must I come to your place? When must I come to your place? Quand dois-je venir chez toi? When must I come to your place? So Judy is like, come at 4 p.m. Okay. Then you'll have to say, she asks you, is it okay? You can say, yes, it's okay. We say d'accord. And then you can say bye. À dimanche. So we meet you on Sunday. Nice, short conversation. I might have gotten a bit creative with the questions, but it's not new. We've covered questions in the previous semester, so I did not use anything more than that. And here you have future proche. I've used future proche. Here I used doit, the devoir, and all those things. Nothing much. Okay. Complete the following sentences with uh, uh, names of places or something like that. So, stadium is stade. So, nous allons au stade. Names of places, we've seen it in one of the worksheets. No, I told I'll provide the solution, so we'll find it over there. So, stadium is stade. I think this looks like a restaurant. Je vais au restaurant. 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 And then you have circus. Circus, is it cirque? Let me see. Yes, it is cirque. Nice. So, les enfants vont au cirque. So, children go to the circus for for seeing the clowns and animals. I'm going to the restaurant for having dinner with my family. We're going to the stadium for watching a football match. This is the beach. Plage. So beach is plage. In summer, I like going to the beach for swimming and I don't know what bronzer is. Se bronzer. Oh, so to tan. Okay, fine. So to tan oneself. So in summer, I like going to the beach for swimming and tanning myself. Fine. This looks like marriage, but let's see. You have to write a place of name of a place, right? So what is the name of a place? So she places, I think she places a beautiful robe for going to dash the sa cousine of her cousin. So where is she going? Like she wears a beautiful robe for going to. Okay, fine. So it need not be like physical place, but it could be like the place where it's happening. Right? So marriage basically, marriage of her cousin. So just marriage. So she wears a beautiful robe for going to the marriage of her cousin. So it makes sense. Robe is like dress of some sorts, right? Nice. Okay. Observe the drawings and complete with all these. So let's see. Bruno drinks dash rouge. So okay, now this is vocabulary, right? You're supposed to look at the picture and also use partitive articles. So Bruno boit du vin rouge. So Bruno drinks some red wine. Frédéric mange beaucoup dash. So these are fruits, right? And the article that comes before it would be des fruits. So des fruits. So Frederick eats. Oh wait. You have beaucoup here, so it will be beaucoup de fruits. This is an expression. Beaucoup de fruits. Beaucoup de is an expression. You can't change this. Frédéric mange beaucoup de fruits. Françoise eats something. So, is this ham? Is that jambon probably? Looks like ham to me. Ham. What is it? It does look like ham, I think. So, jambon probably. Not sure. So, I'll go along with jambon. Because this reminded me of jambon. So François mange. So he eats some quantity of jambon, right? So it will be du jambon. And Claire eats something. This is cheese, so you can eat some quantity of cheese. So you'll have to use partitive articles again. Now cheese is masculine, so du fromage. Du fromage. And this is ice cream, glace. So entree, mange. Ice cream is feminine, so de la glace. So entree, mange de la glace. Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte is thirsty. So we've seen avoir soif, right? So Charlotte is thirsty and drinks something. She, maybe you could write a glass of milk, but you could also write some milk. She drinks some milk. I'll write both. So she drinks. If you only write some milk, it will be du lait. So Charlotte Charlotte is thirsty and drinks some milk. Or if you have the freedom, you can even write this one. She drinks. No, but then they said you're supposed to use only this, right? So you can't add an extra word. So we'll not add an extra word. So Charlotte has. Charlotte is thirsty and she drinks some milk. So this is fine. Complete the sentences with the article that works. So you have, okay, fine. Défini, défini, partitif. We've done this, something very similar, I guess. We've done something very similar to this. So in the canteen of school, so in the school canteen, we often eat dash meat. So we eat some meat. Some meat. So meat is a quantity of meat, right? So partitive article, beyond this feminine singular, so DELA. We often eat some meat and some salad. So some quantity of salad. So partitive article, salad is feminine singular. So de la salad. With, so we often eat all this with some tuna. Some quantity of tuna. So again, partitive article. This is masculine singular. So du thon. And then you have feta is some Greek cheese, right? Feta is some Greek cheese, and it is. I'm just saying the gender. It is feminine. It's a feminine noun. So some quantity of this Greek cheese as well. So partitive article, feminine singular. It will become DELA, de la feta. I do not prefer. Now you have verb of preference, so the answer will be in definite articles. So I do not prefer fish. So fish is masculine, so LE. Fish is masculine singular, so LE. And definite article because we have verb of reference. I do not like fish, therefore I never eat fish. So I never eat any fish. So any quantity of fish. I never eat any fish. So here we're talking about some quantity of fish. So quantity means we'll be thinking about partitive article, and this is a negative sentence. So negative partitive article means I never eat any fish. But dash fish a la Barthelais. So this is a name, right? We've seen it in the textbook. This fish is very much well known in my canteen, or very famous in my canteen. So he's talking about a specific. They're talking about a very specific dish. So it's like a fact of some sorts. This dish is popular in my canteen. So we're talking about something very specific, right? This fish is popular in my canteen. So the dish called poisson à la Bordelaise is very famous. So you'll have to use the definite article. And since poisson is masculine singular, you'll have to use. So I don't like fish, therefore I don't eat any fish. but poisson à la bordelaise is a very famous dish in my canteen. For desserts, we serve dash ice cream. So some quantity of ice cream. So partitive articles, glass is feminine, singular. So you have de la. We serve some quantity of ice cream or some cake, right? Some quantity of cake as well. So partitive article because some quantity of cake. Cake is masculine singular. So you have du gâteau. When it is hot, I eat dash boule de glace. I don't know what boule de glace is. Don't know what boule is. Glace is some ice cream sort of a thing, right? Okay, so boule is not a dish. It's like a scoop, I guess. A scoop of ice cream. At least that's what I get when I googled boule de glace. Let's translate it. Scoop. Okay, fine. So it is indeed a scoop. So scoop of ice cream. When it is hot, I eat dash scoop of ice cream. So scoop is like an expression of quantity, and if you have an expression of quantity, you will use your indefinite articles. So a scoop of ice cream. So it will be une boule because boule is feminine, right? Because it ends with an e. I'm confirming it. It is indeed a feminine noun. So when it is hot, I eat a scoop of ice cream, and when I am very I don't know, goofmo, is it like something related to food? Okay, something about what if you're like some if you're in a state where you want to crave for food or whatever, something. So craving probably, craving for food. You could think of it that way. So when it is hot, I eat a scoop of ice cream, and when I am craving for food, I take dash part de gâteau. So again, you have expression of quantity. So you have to use your indefinite article. A share of cake, slice of cake or whatever. I love. So again, you have verb of preference. So you will probably use definite article. I love cakes. So you have an X at the end. So it's this word is plural. Cake is simply without X. Cakes means you'll have an X. So j'adore les cakes, les gâteaux. Because verbs of preference, it means you will have to use definite articles, and gâteau is in plural, so you'll have to use the plural definite article, which is les. There is also dash fruits. So you're probably saying there are also some fruits. They're all countable, so we'll be using indefinite articles, but then plural indefinite article is des. You're talking about fruits, you're not talking about any specific fruits. There are also the fruits. It's just there are some fruits. I take dash apple or dash strawberries. So apple is in singular. So what would you do? You take an apple, right? An apple means une pomme. It's indefinite. I take an apple. Or I take some strawberries. In this, some is indefinite. You can count strawberries. Then you're taking some number of strawberries. So it would mean some countable number of strawberries. You just didn't mention the number. So indefinite article plural will be des. As for drinks, we have dash water. So we have some water, right? Some quantity of water. It's not like you have some glasses of water. They simply mentioned we have dash water. So it would mean some quantity of water. Quantity of water means we'll be thinking about partitive articles. And since this begins with a vowel, you'll have del apostrophe. Or dash fruit juice. here, what could you possibly put? As for drinks, we have some water or some fruit juice. I mean, you wouldn't possibly able to know if this is plural or singular because both of them have the same spelling. And fruit, you have juice of fruits, so it's possibly multiple juices, multiple varieties of juice. What do you put here? What can we put here? We, for drinks, we have some water or we have some juice of fruits. So assuming, I mean, you could write, you could take partitive. You could have some quantity of juice made from fruits. So assuming partitive is right here, I'll just go along with partitive. So this, but then how do you know if it's singular or plural? Assuming there's only one kind of juice that is made from multiple fruits, I'll go along with du. This is for partitive article, masculine, singular. So I'm just going along with it, not sure. As for me, I don't drink dash water from the canteen. Interesting. Sounds, I don't know, relatable for some, I believe. So I don't drink dash water. So I don't drink any water, right? You don't drink any quantity of water. So in partitive articles, negative form, you'll have to use it. So any quantity means you're talking about partitive articles, and this is a negative sentence. So negative partitive article is de. I carry dash bottle. So I carry a bottle, right? It's obvious. I carry a bottle. I carry a bottle. Bhute is feminine, singular. I carry a bottle dash water. A bottle of water. A bottle of water. Actually, it's not an article. It's an express. This entire thing is one word. A water bottle, right? I carry a water bottle. So here, I don't think it's right to call it an article, but the answer here is D apostrophe. Bhutai though is like one word, water bottle. It's not indefinite, definite, or partitive, but it's fine. The answer here is D apostrophe. A water bottle. I carry a water bottle from the house. For children, evidently, no wine. So no quantity of wine. So negative quantity means partitive articles, and negative partitive article is de. So padava. So for children, evidently no wine, but the professors can drink dash or two. So one or two. So one or two is an expression, no? So that would, one or two means, what is one in French? One is un, no? So again, fine, you can call this indefinite article, but not sure, this looks like an expression, no? One or two. But the professors can drink one or two. Okay, fine. It did not end, so let's see. For children, evidently no wine, but the professors can drink dash or two glasses of wine. Okay, so since we are counting, since they've given glasses and they're countable, and we're not talking about any specific glass, it's just some glasses in general. So we'll be using indefinite articles, and that's why one or two can come here. One or two glasses of wine. So before the class begins, my friends and we eat dash bar of chocolate. So again, I think this is like an expression of quantity. So you'll have to use an indefinite article. So a bar of chocolate. On mange un bar de chocolat, and you eat some number of bonbons. So bonbons are, I guess, candies. You eat few candies, right? They're countable. So you will be using indefinite articles, not partitive. And plural in indefinite article is des. Professors take dash cup dash coffee or dash soda. So professors take a cup of coffee or uh, soda, right? Professors take, again, this is an expression of quantity. So professors take a cup of coffee. Again, this is like one word. I don't know why did they split it, but okay, fine. Une tasse de café ou now again, is it like a cup of coffee versus soda, or is it like a cup of coffee or a cup of soda? Is it that, which way is correct? Now again, not sure. Let's see which. Let me try to check. The professors take cup of coffee or soda. So I think it's this way. Uh, the professors take a cup of coffee or of soda. So that would make it DE then. So you have tasse de café, you also have tasse de soda. You can see it all depends on the context, but anyways. So this. So that was Endsem worksheet. I think I've covered everything. Look at the previous. How funny! I think this video is longer than the previous video. But anyways, because I solved the worksheet here, I don't think I solved it in the previous video. Fine, I will end the stream now. What should I say? Bonne chance, and salut then.